All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another stream. And sorry I didn't do this earlier. Discord. I just started because I was working on something this morning. And I didn't really think it was ready to show. It's still not complete, but it is working. So something kind of just start with some of the updates from this past week. Last week, last weekend I couldn't stream just because work got in the way. Just a busy few weeks, so didn't get to do as much progress as I would have liked to. But in the end, you need a roof over your head, you need some food, so you gotta work. But yeah, enough with the real world things. But let's get to some of the updates. And um, right off the bat, one of the things that I wanted to show is a little bit of work that I've been doing on some of these like cave areas, and also a little bit of functionality to work with like some tight spaces. Like something I mentioned before, like crawling, like the hugging the wall when it comes to getting through, kind of tight spots like this, for example. Um, I think I've seen it shown in the past, like the character can climb over objects. There's some like custom climbing here and there, not necessarily marked by these arrows, but by like carabiners, like climbing things. And yeah, so let's start with that. Hey, Spurdunky, welcome. I just saw that. Hopefully YouTube is not gonna decide to just work like last time when once I closed the stream, I was able to see comments. Like, okay, this is annoying. But yeah, welcome. It's been good. It's been good. Like I said, work has been kind of busy, so haven't been able to do as much work as I would have liked to. Hey, you know what? I still got to work on this area here, this kind of cave system. It's not all fully linked. There's still some missing over here, but yeah, kind of just follows here and through here, and now yeah. So we'll probably navigate it a little bit more once I show this latest update. But yeah, this is something that I had in place from a while back, and I finally managed to get it in. And by the way, let me know if the audio is coming in okay. Hopefully the microphone is picking up well. Um, yeah, so and I wasn't sure. I was playing some music. I wasn't sure if it was too loud. But yeah, yeah, this area has been in the works from a while back, and now I just managed to link it together and place it in the fully fledged level. So hopefully today we'll work on some of these two exits, one that goes through here and another one that goes through here. Uh, so yeah, but let me show you that little functionality, which is actually kind of fun. I do like it. I've wasted, unfortunately, some time with something that I found on the marketplace that was for like crawling, and just to realize that what I had implemented myself was much better, and it was more extensible as well, even though it was a lot simpler than what that guy had. Um, so, so yeah, let's start. Let's get into this. It's like I said, it's not a whole lot, but um, but yeah. Also, let me show this first, and then we'll uh, I wanted to share a couple of other items as well that I've been working on, more from the aspect of like the world partition way of setting things up. I'm just experimenting with it at the moment, so I'll probably have some more details in the coming weeks. But yeah, so let's take a look and see how that system works. This little lines that you see going across is just a player capsule. I wanted to turn that on just so that I can um, test to see that it gets smaller once you move in these kind of tight corners and such. So I just had that showing. All right, so let's kind of jump through here a little bit. All right, so yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of showing this at the moment so I can track it. So the way this works is each one of these custom movement areas is going to be placed either when you like um, enter like one of these like tight spots in here, or like a crawl area, or when you need to push an object. And yeah, hopefully next week I'll also show that, since I'm kind of revamping some of these things from back in the Unreal 4 days. All right, so let's get into here. And as you can see, this guy is turning in place. So if you want to look from, actually it's kind of limited, so I'm limiting the view angles so that it doesn't spin in place. But so you can like look to the sides. And then if you just press forward or backwards, you can like, so once you exit the spline, you just exit that movement situation. But you can enter it again and press forward to kind of move forward through this. So I'm still, I think this is the capsule that's kind of jerking back and forward a little bit, so I probably need to make that a little thinner, but it's just going forward like this, or if you want to go back, you're just moving back. And the same works for crawling. I just need to rework the animations back into the project. Yeah, okay. So that was kind of the functionality, or the additional functionality, let's call it. And the the other update, as far as what I'm trying to work on, mostly because of some of the stutters that I noticed, and I think it's um, it's a thing that has been in the past, like that. It's it's I don't think it's anything new to like uh, world partition and such. It was with the streaming as well when you were trying to streaming levels. So, uh, but what I've been trying to do is, I think the best example is gonna be, where am I? It's on this end. Is where I have some of these levels with quite a lot of actors in them. And so let me just minimize this. And what I've been trying to do, previously, I've had this. Oh, hey, Muntasir. Yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, it's been something that I've developed myself in like Unreal 4, and it didn't transition very well to 5. And I was trying this crawling package from the marketplace. It was something that it was really cheap, and I got it, and I'm like, okay, this looks kind of interesting, but I was never able to get it to work right. and with ALS v4. And I just, you know what, I'm just going to use mine because mine I already had implemented like pushing objects and crawling and this kind of sneaking through small spaces like you're saying. That's exactly what I was looking at. And thank you so much. I will definitely keep it up. Um, so that's why I was trying to get this back working. So hopefully, I'm not sure if by tomorrow, because I have some more work to do around the house this afternoon. But if I get lucky by tomorrow, I will hopefully refine it a little bit better and also do the crawling. Um, yeah, so I think the jitter is coming from the capsule itself, like because that's the other issue. Some of these meshes I need to disable, especially when you um yeah, that QTE, what is that? I'm kind of have an idea of QTE, but I'm not entirely sure what that stands for. Um, so what I would need to do is especially, oh, QuickTime event. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's an idea as well. Thank you. Um, but I think the issue with the jitter is the collisions for those rocks, especially when it comes to passing through that narrow gap. I think they should be, um, you know, not the collision that I have at the moment for that rock, because it's pretty detailed collision. So, yeah. You know, um, I was thinking about that. I mean, now it makes more sense what you're saying. Um, it could be, but I think it takes away from the engagement, like the kind of, you get to pass through that by pushing the buttons, and not necessarily as a quick time event like I've seen, when you open doors in some of these games, right? They're pretty seamless, but opening a door is a quick, very like like snap your finger type of thing, so that can be a quick time event. I think this one, especially it can be longer and the player might need to wait. And so say it's crawling, right? And there's like an enemy on the other side. You might need to wait in that crawling space before you come out and then, take him out. So yeah, that's definitely, but it's definitely a great idea. Um, I might even try that somewhere else. Who knows? Okay. Well, so one thing that I was saying is, I have these, kind of and this one is actually from the dam itself. I'm not sure how that ended up kind of taking, blocking the parking entrance here. So I've had these two levels here. The parking the dam parking entrance, right? And then after it was like the dam. Well, previously was like the bunker, but I kind of repurposed that, and now it's I just call it like the dam interior, right? And they all had quite a lot of actors. And what I needed to do is so I'm currently testing this. I wanted to break them down into the large assets within this area, which are going to be like the walls, these big tubes. So let me hide this. So I would have like the large assets, then like the medium assets, and I think that's actually this level here, and then the small assets. So each one of these will have, um, if you scroll down here, you'll see that there's like a runtime grid. So the medium runtime grid will have, or the medium size assets will have one type of runtime grid, which has a shorter rendering distance. Then the small assets will have an even smaller one. So let me see. Let me go to world settings here. I'm not sure if I already set these up. Um, where was the world partition here? Was it on the word partition? I think it was in a different place. Grids. Okay. So here are the grids. So I have currently I just have like a main grid, a foliage, and so they don't really um, match so well with the naming. But what I wanted to have is a large interiors, a medium interiors, and a small interiors. So the large interior grid would be on this big, on the big assets in here. So like these ones, right? So we want to see them at a little bigger distance. And then, so basically breaking down this level into pieces, into large pieces, medium pieces, and small pieces. That way, when when they get loaded through the world partition based on the distance, I'm not trying to load all of them at the same time, and I'm just have them separated on different size grids. So I'm still testing this. I'm hoping to get back with some more uh, details on it shortly, or in the coming weeks. Sorry, Muntasir, I didn't see your last message. I think maybe you could put a blocking volume in the bottom and then check if the jitter. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So I've disabled Food IK for the ALS, and it didn't do any changes. So I think, yeah, it's a combination of what you're saying with the terrain and um, an issue with the collisions. So yeah, I think I might have um I didn't, because literally like right before this stream I was working on this, and I didn't really get um to try it out so well. Yeah. Um so those were kind of some of the updates. And like I said, I'm hoping that breaking these levels down, especially the levels that have a lot of actors, I'm not too worried about, like the cave level. It doesn't have that many actors, and they're all pretty big, so you want to see them at a distance. But when it comes to, especially interiors that have details, I'm gonna I'm gonna test this out and see if there's any stutter, because that's what I was noticing the last time. I had one level with all these assets, and as well as the entrance back there, one level with all the assets. And I think, it was, a few hundred actors being loaded at the same time. And I think that might have been what was causing the stutter. So I think if I'll just do the large pieces and then the medium pieces and then the small pieces, um, I hope that will make it work a little bit better. Hey, Muntasir, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you in the next one. I hope to see it tomorrow. Um, like I said, I'm gonna definitely try and do another stream tomorrow. Hopefully, there'll be more updates and um, as well as some. Okay, this is what I've done, and I'm thinking I have two of these levels in here. Yeah, that's what I was looking so odd. Um, Not sure how I managed to duplicate this, but let's remove this one. Hey, Bad Game Dev, do you mind sharing where you got some of your vehicle assets from? No, not at all. These are from an author on Sketchfab called Rena Fox. So let me see. I can post it in the chat real quick. One sec. Um, and he's like a vehicle artist, I think, and he's got a lot of these that um, are free. There is some of them that don't have a commercial uh, um, version to them. But yeah, here's his profile. Yeah, there is unfortunately no interiors, or at least they're not very detailed, the ones that have them. Like they're just exteriors. Um, Yeah, there are definitely some, I think, like this one. Yeah, this one doesn't really have an interior. Unfortunately, yeah, none of my cars have interiors. They're just there as a kind of a filler asset. Um, I think the marketplace might be the best resource when it comes to some detailed cars with interiors. I've seen some really good looking ones. Um, but yeah, if you want to have a lot of them with good looking interiors, there's definitely things on the marketplace for sure. Yeah, oh yeah, there's quite a lot of them. And yeah. Um, okay, so with that said, one thing that I was planning on doing today after showing um, some of the updates is kind of like I said, work on this bunker area. Sorry, the the cave system here. So as I was saying, there's going to be a couple of exits to this, and also let's kind of walk around it a little bit, just to check it out. But if you haven't checked Sketchfab, Sketchfab has a ton of assets that are, like I said, some are free for use, even in commercial projects. Some are just non-commercial attribution, I believe is what they call it. Yeah. All right, so let's just wanted to walk around a little bit around here just to make sure that, the player can climb these slopes as you kind of move towards that exit. Um, and also kind of how things look. Yeah, this collision is not quite perfect, but it actually. Oh yeah, so I think for that, there's definitely things to find. All right, let's see how we're looking up here. Yeah, so that this was also some of the work from this week, kind of trying to get some of these assets together and put them in place. Now, one thing that I've noticed, and I'm trying to figure out why is it happening, it's even though I'm not mantling, there's this occurrence where my field of view is limited. So I think it's got something to do with how mantling works in ALS. And I need to figure that out, this little issue. As you can see, I can only like um, my field of view basically is limited to these angles. So I need to figure out what's going on there. Um, and yeah, there's no errors unfortunately that I can see. So there's something going on where I mean there's nothing here that I'm really entering or like any custom movement situations. So that's a little odd. I need to I need to work on that. But yeah, let's also test some of this custom climbing that I have going on over here with these points, and kind of you being able to enter this area, and um, we'll sculpt this out and paint it a little bit. Get some of this terrain going and looking all right. Also positioning some of these additional lights over here and extending some of the um, where was I? I got a little lost. Some of these post-process volumes that I have in the cave. The other thing that I wanted to test is a little bit of the audio as well with some of these kind of water dripping from up top. And of course, I'm gonna need to probably offline fix some of these openings in the terrain where you can actually see the grass, which looks all, you know, doesn't really look right, right? Like this opening right here. I mean, I want to see the sky, right? And I'm simulating the sunlight through just a regular spotlight. Oh, thank you so much. It's like I said, it's been around for a while, but yeah, it's been a lot of well, I would call it like a little bit of fun and a little bit of headache trying to place this into the world, kind of sculpting the terrain around it and kind of making it look like it would work, you know. So this will be kind of covered. So I need to work on how this is gonna show up over here because it's like I was showing in the past, this is where the mine is, and like kind of the mine exploitation. So this one, kind of goes through here. There's a couple of these tunnels going back and forth there, and this is that little gap in here where you'd be able to sneak in through the cave system. And there's kind of a couple of things here that I need to adjust, like especially this little level that is a little lower than what it should be for its positioning. And yeah, but finally, I kind of have them in the right place, at least where I want these to be. And now it's just a matter of refining everything around it. So you know, that's just fun, I guess, the world building aspect of things. All right, well, let's get into an area that looks like there's something there, and play around with some audio, and also kind of fix up the terrain around here, like inside this area here. Okay, so I don't really want to move any of these assets that I've already placed in here. I just want to sculpt the terrain around it. And first things first, I'm gonna paint out some of this grass because if there's one thing that I hate is grass in interiors. I'm not sure if it's if it makes any sense. So, um, hey there. Not sure how to pronounce your name. I don't really read Cyrillic, so if you want to use English, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's paint some of this stuff here that does not have um, any grass. All right, so shaders compiling. There they go. All right, so kind of, like the interior of a cave, I would say. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna need to do a little bit of sculpting around here just to make things kind of fit in with the rest of these boulders, these kind of um, fallen rocks and such. Yeah, and then we can try and test out how the climbing over here is gonna work. Kind of climbing up top. Um, Oh, and this is actually kinda, oh yeah, let's paint some around here. One thing that I find it a little bit, I wouldn't call it frustrating, but you see all these rocks that are up top here? They get painted on the through the visibility layer as well. So in here, if I was to paint back the visibility layer, um, yeah, it's fine. It's there. But then if I, kind of make it this area invisible, whatever is like this landscape, what's a landscape grass basically, they still show up. So I need to paint with something that doesn't have like one of my layers that does not have um, rocks on it. And yeah. Oh, hey, oh, good, good. So how do you achieve optimization foliage and what methods of use? Have a nice stream. Thank you so much. Well, so mainly, um, there's a few things. First of all, the vegetation assets have to be optimized. Like I don't use nanite for starters. I think nanite is just for these, um, high-end video cards. They're not, it's not, I don't think it's ready for, or I mean, yeah, we're moving towards everybody's gonna get those eventually. So in a few years, yeah, definitely, somebody with a medium-end video card is gonna be able to run it just fine. But for my purposes, I don't use nanite. So yeah, for starters, you know, the 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 vegetation has to be pretty optimized. Um, and there's like such a hodgepodge of vegetation on the marketplace, and some more optimized than others. So for that, you got to watch out, how many materials you got. The other thing for me, I like conifers. So usually you can use one or two types of conifer trees, maybe three, and get some pretty good performance. So that's another point. The second or a third is all these are procedurally placed. So I use just the procedural foliage tool in Unreal. And then when it comes to the grass, um, and by all means, I still have a ways to go to optimize this because like I have a lot of grasses. Like on this terrain, I think there's too much grass, too much grass types. So anything that doesn't have collision, I just have a grass node on my material. So if you haven't seen one before, let me show you real quick how that looks. And that way you can set it so that different um, different surfaces on your landscape have different types of grass. So here's my landscape material, and basically in here, let me see where that is. Um, there we go. So you have a landscape grass node. I think this one you can just right click and add a landscape grass output like that. And then you can add several layers to it, right? And each one of these layers is going to have what is called like a grass type. And within the grass type, see, like I have a ton of, like I have 9 elements just for one type of surface. And, there could be probably less, I probably don't need that many. Um, and then you can set them up so that, for example, your moss layer is only going to use moss. Your, let's say, rock layer, which is coming from somewhere back here, can only use, gravel rocks. Like for example, gravel is only going to use gravel rocks. And, if you look for, let me see, I'm not sure which one this is. So in the gravel rocks, I only have 2 elements, uh, some road rocks and another type. But one thing to note is all of these, they will not have collision, which is, what you want in the end, if you want to optimize things. Um, so So yeah, that's hopefully that's you get an idea. That's kind of it in a nutshell. Um, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit because there is some of those rock areas, and I don't want rocks to show. So now let's kind of remove this around here, just like that. All right, so let's jump into this one here, and I just need to clear some things out. All right, so there we go. One thing that I'm still thinking about is this particular level. Um, I am thinking of joining it together with this one, with the kind of the main section here, just so that it can share the same landscape because I kind of like this landscape material a little bit better. So let me try something. Da-da-da. Let's commit the changes here. And while I kind of like this surface, and you can combine it with the other one that I have. Um, just kind of to give it a little bit of variety. It differs a little bit too much from the rest of the cave. So that's why I might want to use the terrain that I have here, with these kind of materials that look to me a little bit more cave-like. Um, like especially around here where you can like paint some of the kind of the water washing off a little bit as well. And yeah, so I kind of like this surface a little bit better. And since it's in the cave, um, I might want to use it in here as well. So let me give that a try. Let's see how that would look. Because this terrain I can, sculpt out and just start using it once you exit through here, right? Um, Let me actually just smooth this area out here a little bit more. So that would be like the exit. Um, yeah, let's see how this is gonna turn out. I think it might be okay. So I'm just gonna save this real quick. There's like a little bit of a funky thing happening with Unreal. It generates these autosaves, even though I have that turned off. But yeah, that's all right. Well, let's open up that cave level large. Yeah, I don't want to save that. I already said that. I don't want to save it. Okay, and we'll yes, okay, I know. All right, so let me find where this level is at. Okay, now the only thing, this landscape is big enough. The one thing that I did run into, and I'm not sure if this is a feature or a bug, is that you can't sculpt terrain um, when you're in like world partition. So you can't sculpt the terrain of these level instances, which is stupid, or at least I wasn't able to do it. So if anybody else has been able to do it, I would love to hear it, how you were able to to do that. Um, okay, so there is also since these are not world partition levels, what I've been thinking about doing in the past is like actually going into levels and in here actually loading that um, that cave exit section, right? But the only problem with that is, let me see. Well, first I need to remember which one of the level names that was. Let me jump back into um, kind of the main level map. Oh, so actually, a thought just came to mind. Let's try something I haven't tried yet when it comes to editing a second landscape because it's a little so when I have all these level instances and you know my old time computer is trying to load the levels here. All right, come on, you can do it. And of course the the progress bar is not an indication of it actually doing anything because it completed, but well, it's still not loaded in. So there you go. It finally struggled to get there. I keep telling myself I really need to, you know, probably not a new video card, but at least a slightly more modern processor and some extra RAM. So we're back here, and so what I was saying was, I have this landscape here, which is part of this cave main area. But then there's also the cave exit, which is this, I guess, cave to mansion. I need to rename that. But when it comes to editing, which I find it, I'm not sure why, but so when it comes to editing the terrain, like I can go into Shift 2 and I get access to all the landscapes. So for example, I get landscape cave. And I can go ahead and edit this one. For example, what I was trying to do, was thinking about doing is, you know, adding a few more elements to it. And let's see, I can try and add one here so that I can extend this a little bit into that cave exit. So maybe these many segments should do. Yeah, as you can see, it just adds them back here. There they are. It's on that particular level. Now, the only thing with this is that when I reload the level, these changes are gone. So what I'm thinking maybe, um, so this is in the cave main, and it's there. I'm wondering if I go in and edit the level and then commit the changes. I'm not sure if this is going to do anything. Um, because if I go and open this one here, yes, okay, let's save that. Let's see if this this addition to the landscape has made it in. That'd be great if it did, but as I was saying, it did not. So additions to the landscape or changes cannot be, from what I can tell, they cannot be made when you editing a level in a level instance, which is a bummer, like a pretty big bummer. That is if you use multiple landscapes like I have. Maybe that's not how everybody uses it, but yeah, that's annoying. Okay, let me try the way of as I was saying um, with the levels to add in that exit level, and I think hopefully I recall the name. I have a pretty poor memory, so I believe it was the Cave to Mansion. Now the only thing with that is placed apparently way back there, and that's not really helping. Uh, since these are in the world, they're placed with the by placing the level instance, kind of moving the level instance around. So the trouble would be that if I start moving this one in here, it would cause all kinds of grief. And that's a little frustrating. And that's why I'm thinking maybe a better solution would just be to move all these actors from this um, transition to exterior level, move them into my my main cave level. Because this is the only other level that would need to have, some kind of um, landscape sculpting around it. At the same time, I can just say, and it should be pretty easy as well if I go to, actually, I'm just going to remove this from here. So I'm going to go back into my main level and I might just put some more of the kind of the ground meshes to cover some of that area, and I think that should be fine. All right, so let's jump back into the main level, and we'll see how that works. Because also some of it is covered by water and probably some puddles that I'm going to put around, so it might mask um, that exterior terrain pretty well, I think. And some of those kind of the rocky ground was pretty good looking anyways. It wasn't um, I think it was working out. But yeah, let's see what we get here. Can close this. Seems like it loaded a little quicker this time. Maybe it's just optimism speaking, but it felt that way. Oh, and where is? Oh, and this is another issue that I'm running into. Not sure if this is another trouble with the engine or what it is. For whatever reason, it's after I made a change in it, it comes back as unloaded, which I am not entirely sure why. And of course, once you go into world partition, it doesn't do anything. So let me try and jump into game mode and see if I can load back in. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to 5.3 because I think 5.2 was kind of a wash. And that it kind of goes to show why they were so quick in pushing 5.3 out. Um, it seems like I've found more trouble in 5.2 than in 5.1. Uh, Not to say that 5 is more troublesome, but it has got more trouble than 4. That 4.27 was like the best, I think the best engine or the best that they had. Um, it kind of, yeah, okay, they were trying to push these shiny new features with Lumen and Nanite out the door, but I think they just rushed it. So I think uh, I mean, it's the way development works nowadays, House of Cards type of stuff. Yeah. So, stuff like this. I think I've seen some of the people on different posts on Reddit running into this issue, which um, some say, it works if you select everything and then load it, but it's already loaded. So I'm not entirely sure. This usually works only after I restart the engine. So let's just do that real quick. Bear with me here. Yeah, so the one reason that I still haven't moved to 5.3 is that I have one plugin that has not been migrated yet by the developer to 5.3. So I'm still just waiting on that to happen. And hopefully once they get to do that is when I'm gonna migrate to 5.3. And I'm hoping that fixes a bunch of the issues that they have with 5.2. So usually I try to make changes to the level inside of the main level, the one that, that's got the world partition. But like I said, trying to make a change to the landscape does not work, or at least not that I could figure out. And so yeah, I have to kind of put up with the need to restart it so that level gets reloaded. Even if it was loaded, somehow it gets unloaded. Not sure again what's going on there. I definitely like the concept behind world partition, and I hope to give some more updates in the coming streams as to the way I broke down those levels into small assets, medium assets, and large assets, and hopefully that would um, help with the loading stutter that other people have noticed as well with the world partition. So it's again it's a matter of optimizing, and I think there's probably projects that have hundreds of levels, bigger projects, but um, yeah, it took quite a bit longer this time to load. When I started it this morning, it was really snappy. Oh, that explains it. Yeah, so I think the stream is still up, but yeah, that's like I said, I definitely need to upgrade my computer. And that was actually I've haven't gotten that error, that kind of formatted the way that error was formatted with the little just the Windows message that you ran out of memory. So hopefully that's not gonna happen again. I'm not sure why compiling blueprints took like forever. What it needs to compile, I have no idea. But yeah, I guess it needs to do that. Let's see how much this is eating up. I mean, yeah, Chrome is a memory hog as well. Unreal is known to be a memory hog, but yeah, there we go. It worked this time. Go figure. I have no idea why it had that error previously. Okay, yeah, preparing shaders. Yeah, there's some of these moments where it just baffles me how bad it runs. I mean, luckily there's far and few in between, but yeah, when it happens is pretty frustrating. As you can see, like the memory utilization is pretty low with I only have like 16 gigs, but why is it at 90? I have no idea. Because everything else that's stacked in here will not amount to that kind of usage. Okay, well, it's loading the level instances right now. Another thing that I was wondering, and you know, I can probably give that a try, is if I break all the these level instances and break them down and just have the actors in the world. The thing that I like about level instances is that I can go into that individual level and edit it as I want to. So not sure if it's gonna speed up the loading time. It'd be interesting to see though. Having the level instances makes it easier to just go into that level and select specific actors and, not worry about, oh, I'm gonna select some other piece from some other part of the world. Yeah. Bad game dev, any ideas why some of my materials don't load in when I play an editor? Oh yeah, well, so that's well, right now I just didn't let it load, 'cause I just jumped right into this. But yeah, it starts off like this, and depending on your rig, like I have a pretty outdated machine. It might take a while before these kind of stream in. Uh, One thing. Not sure if you've had this, but there is a console variable r dot streaming dot pool size. So if this is also small, like 500, um, I guess it doesn't trigger it. Um, yeah, I was trying to see if I can show you. This one was it, but I'm trying to set it a little smaller to hopefully trigger that issue. But yeah, on my end, I just have to wait a little bit. Um, and one thing that could be part of it, I'm trying to think. I haven't noticed it. Like I only notice it when I load into the world, right? Because it takes a little bit of time for everything to stream in. But maybe so I'm not seeing that message here. Like I'm not sure if you want to try this CVAR like r.streaming.pool size and make it bigger, like 4,000, 8,000, um, and see if that gets rid of your error. Okay. So as I was saying, right now, this level is loaded again, and yeah, it did take a restart, but kind of goes to show that if you edit one of these levels, you might want to edit it in the world partition setup and not load that level separately. Yeah, it's a bad game. I'm sorry I didn't have any uh any more suggestions. But actually, do you have me on Discord? We can have a quick chat and maybe you can show me in real time, and that might help you with that issue if you want. All right, so back here we are. We're back here. All right, well, we have some water volumes that kind of makes things interesting. Let's sculpt this terrain. We'll just go with this one here. And also paint it. Oh, it all looks fine in the editor flying around, but when I press play, it just breaks. And nothing loads, right? I mean, or not loads, but it doesn't like if you wait a little bit for everything to stream in, it doesn't change anything, right? Yeah, cause see, like sometimes I get this thing too, right? Um, this kind of change when I paint the terrain, for example, and then it streams in. So let me actually try and change this back to, let's do 4,000 and see if this one happens again. Yeah, see, this one doesn't happen again, that issue. But so that's, I'm wondering if it's, um, I mean, I'm kind of guessing here if it might be due to the string pool size. Huh, just the landscape material and trees. Yeah, and like I said, let me know um, if you ever need to another pair of eyes, you know, um, it never hurts. I always find it better to have somebody um, looking at things with me, and some I usually just figure it out myself. But um, yeah. Okay. Let's sculpt some of this area here, and I'm just gonna start with a little bit of a flattening, sculpt, flatten, and the target. Let's kind of put it somewhere around here. Flatten target. I forgot to select it. All right, and trying to get this in here. All right, so there's the other exit. Smooth some of this area out and paint some gravel around here. There we go. This is being the exit. I can live with a little bit of vegetation around here. I don't mind it that much in this area. But yeah, so I have some of these meshes that could prove to be useful to kind of mask some of this area. And we'll see how that works. All right. Let's flatten this out a little more. So that way the player doesn't fall into this opening here. There we go. That's a little bit better for the positioning of this. Let's kind of join these here. And try going with the ramp as well. I really like this ramp feature. It's really useful. Only if I can set it up a little bit better. A little bit of a chore selecting some of these gizmos sometimes. There we go. So now we can just smooth this out a little bit. Oh, hey, bad game. Yeah, actually, it should be. I thought it was. Guess it's not there anymore. I thought I had it in my um, thing here. So here is the server for the game itself. And let's get one link here. All right, so you can find me in there. I should be under never follow 81. So this is my ID as well. If you want it, let me see where that is. Da-da. I'm hoping that should do it. It used to have like some like an ampersand and like some numbers at the end. Hopefully that will work. All right. So let's finish this off here, and then we'll probably call it good for today. Let's see. Just gonna use a ramp, some more ramps. There we go. Oh yeah, yeah, they're extremely useful. Um, like literally, this whole thing was just ramps. Like this area here. This is all just ramp, like ramp here, ramp here, ramp here, another one here, and this one's just going to be like a little bit of a climbing area. But yeah, it's they're really good to bridge these gaps. Yeah, I definitely like using them. Okay, well let's just gonna get into this level here and edit it. One thing that I'm gonna need to do is these kind of meshes that are you know uh, kind of closing in on this opening. I'm gonna need to use something else because they're just they're not closed, so they cast this odd little shade. And so yeah, that's just gonna be something to do. But I wanted to add just a light here to kind of focus some of this light coming down in here. Let's see how that's going to turn out. So spotlight. And I need to bring it up pretty big. Also the radius itself. Something like that. Let's play around with some of this this radius here. Let's see, what did I want to do? All right, kind of like that. And of course, I just want to bump up the indirect lighting. And I need to use the same post-process volume as the one that I'm in right now because this one's from like the outside. So I want to use this one here. And that's why this is going to need to be a little bit, oops, that's a little too much, I guess. To something like that. And yeah, having the indirect light intensity with Lumen is really nice to give some of that bounce lighting. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there it goes. And yeah, see, so that's the post process that I want to be in. And I can't tell. Hopefully it's part of this level. And luckily that's not it. That's a procedural foliage volume. So let me commit the changes that I currently have real quick. All right, so this one, commit changes. And I just quickly want to save this. And let's see where that, so this one was the cave exit. So this is the cave main. And that's what I'm kind of starting to think that they might work better to be in the same level. The more I look at this. So I'll try and play around with that idea. But let me see if this one has that post-process volume. And interestingly, where is the post-process volume for this guy? It's just got like a procedural foliage blocker. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's go back to here. And I'm actually wondering if I didn't even need one. Let me see, where is it? It's through here and in here. So this one's got a post-process volume. Oh yeah, there it is. I guess I didn't even need one to begin with. So let's remove that. And I've been getting some of these messages with this level that has no references in whatsoever, but it's still somehow referenced by something, I don't know. It's just really odd. Okay. Um, so now that we have this, let's play around with placing some of these meshes here and there and see what helps. Oops, and I forgot to commit those changes after I remove that post-process volume. All Let's commit those changes. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now, one thing to note is you'll see that, especially like the way I've done this for this light coming from up top, even though, you know, the sky is kind of shining somewhere else. Let's go back into this little light here. At first, I want to make it movable, but you see there's like this really bright looking thing over here that kind of like, oh yeah, this is coming from this little light. So what I've done is, I believe, was it the source radius that I had to bring up, or let me see, one of these two settings, the source radius. Let me see which one of these was. Yeah, there we go. So the source length that's able to like attenuate that little uh, thing over there. Now, one thing that I haven't checked yet is the light complexity, and it's actually not bad at all. I can live with that. Okay, so that's there. Let's see if this one, if I set it to 0, yeah, I feel like it's definitely darkening up than when it's like this. Not sure if it's coming through during the streaming, you know, and once I bump it even higher, it's even better. So let's do maybe 20 should be fine. Okay. Yeah. So let's add a little bit more um, out here. Yeah. Let's move um, some of these rocks around a little bit, just like that. Use some of these like granite surfaces here and there. You know, surface stuff like this. And the better way for this one is with this tool that I use heavily is this IA scatter, because it makes placing some of these meshes so much easier. And of course, it's an instance mesh, so it helps a lot with performance. And there we go. So we have a bunch of these. Of course, they look kind of odd, but let's, you know, probably less instances. 30. It's just gonna place as many as it can, you know, put a ray down, like a ray cast. And let's play around with the scale. Also, let's align to normal. And then this one we'll do 0 to 360 to give them some rotation. And scale, let's do from 2 to 4. That's kind of big. 1 to 2. Okay, that's pretty good, I would say. So it adds some variety to the surface of this. Um, let's take a look at the position, the location, just to sink it into the ground a little bit. So maybe a -5 to a -10. That's a little too much. -5. Okay, that's pretty good. Especially when it comes to these kind of flat assets, it probably be best to have a flat surface, especially when you set it to align to normal. And also, um, what I'd like to do is change the distribution to a spline down. That way I can control where it's placed. So I don't want it to try and place it on top of some of these bigger rocks over here because it just might uh, end up looking weird. But if I place it like right along where the open area is, so to speak, kind of like that, and also adjust the spread a little bit so it kind of follows the spline better. There we go. That's pretty decent. Also, I need to set it so that it ignores itself. And where was that? Distribution, ignores self. There we go, even better. And I can probably set a few extras. I can also try and do area down, which is going to make an area out of the spline. So it's just going to try and kind of cluster them into this area. There we go, something like that. And I can try to get more instances in there, maybe 50. And bump up the spread a little bit. Okay, that's pretty decent. Probably that's a little bit too many, kind of like that. So, breaking up some of this flat, or not flat, but just like homogeneous area over here. Oh, hey Artem. Sorry, I wish I could read Cyrillic, but I do not. So if you could use English, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to try and kind of adjust some of these just to meet meet with this area here, like that. Kind of the best I can. Yeah, there you go. They kind of like seem like they belong to the same stack of rocks, so to speak. There we go. Yeah, sorry. So I can't read that. If you want to use Google Translate and put that into English, appreciate it. Okay, well, let's see. What does this use for a material? A little desaturated color there. But I can just use some of these granite rocks over there. There we go. To kind of break up that edge, it's just a little too straight. There we go. We can probably place a couple of more alongside here. There we go. All right, that's good. Um, Now I can just commit the changes for now for this one. At least we're kind of going the right way. And what I wanted to do before ending the stream is actually test out some of the climbing over here. You know, like I have some of this stuff kind of climbing up to this ledge and then exiting the cave. So let's try that out, see how it's gonna turn out. I think for now, just gonna make some sort of a ramp or something to climb on over here. Let's see, maybe I can use this. Yeah, let's edit this one more time. This particular asset has a pretty flat face on that side, and it could be pretty good usage for some of these climbs. I'm hoping it's not going to interfere with this section here, but let's see how that's going to work. Okay, now I'm going to need a couple of these. And we'll see how they work. Hopefully they're still going to work out okay. Oh, okay, cool. Bad game. I'm happy to hear that. That's great. All right, well, let's try out and see if this one, I'm just going to keep it simple for now. It's just going to climb up. This might be a pretty good test as well, since I haven't tested this out in a little bit of time. Hopefully there's no issue introduced um, with 5.2. Okay. Yeah, so now this guy is gonna work like this. It's a little tedious to some extent, but you know, it works out. All right, so far holds. Yeah, and one thing to note is just make sure to have that setting placed in your, I think it's base engine that INI, one of the config files, just so that you know, you don't lose it next time you start the engine. Okay, well, let's see how this one turns out. If if it works. All right, so let's head on up to that section. Okay, so the character can navigate around here. There's like some floating grass over there. Oh, and I hit that space, that positioning again. How did I manage to? Okay, well, at least this seems to work. Oh, and I forgot to label this as the top hold. So the last one, this, I need to make sure that the pieces that's at the top, so I think this one has this top hold. It needs to be turned on so we know that it's the last one that it needs to exit. And I think the bottom one doesn't need anything if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna bring the start a little closer, and I will definitely try and figure out I'm getting that issue where it's trying to like climb on something, but there's nothing there. Okay, let's commit the changes to this and jump into game. Oh, and I forgot to move the start, so I'm just gonna climb up this way again. Huh. There's definitely like some actors that are being loaded that are causing that issue, I think. Okay, because over here, yeah, so I've exited that climb and I don't have that trouble anymore. All right, so there he goes, climbing up these points and up there. Okay. All right, that worked. I need to take a look at that light. I think I need to bump it up a little bit. It's should be a little bit brighter in here, I would say. All right, let's just exit here. And yeah, as you can see in the background with the world partition, there's all these actors being loaded. But when it comes to like two or three or something like that, it's that's not going to cause any stutters. But if there's like a few hundreds, like I always have when I had that, I think it will impact it. Okay, so we're out of the cave. Like I said, I'll need to replace these meshes with something that has some proper shading, or at least it's not just single face. And Yeah, that's I think that's gonna be it for me for today, guys. Appreciate everyone stopping by, just saying hi or having some questions. And I hope to see you on the next one. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye everybody.